That was terrible. That was terrible because that beer's so old it's gone.
Which one was it?
Oh. I see it's probably these ones. They still say best by December 24th, but I've had these for a hot minute. December 1st, yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Two Drunk Guys in a Football Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus the Hammer Mary.
And I am the other co-host, Skinny Domestic. We have another good, great, the bestest episode ever. Well, maybe not
the best. Ever. Some would say the best episode ever.
Best episode so far.
That's right.
We got... Oh, this cup's still dirty. I did not wash this cup well. Let me...
Just gonna have to drink it straight out the can, dude.
I'm gonna grab a cup that's like right... It's 2 feet away.
It's 2 feet away. He's gonna go grab a cup, guys. He's gotta grab a cup. Go get your cup.
Oh, my goodness.
Amateur hour.
Relax. You
want me to relax? I'm gonna fix my contact because it's bothering me.
I don't want my beer dirty.
Okay.
All right.
What?
Yeah. I don't want my beer dirty. Do you want a dirty... Oh, excuse me. Do you want a dirty beer? I don't want a dirty beer.
Yeah. Shall we start with some news, my good friend?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we got the news, bad betting, like always. You know, the typical stuff. Yeah, Marcus, go ahead and get us hit with the news while I get my beer poured.
Beer ready?
Yeah.
Well, this week, you can say it's the week of tears. The week of heartbreak and disappointment because it's everyone and their sister got injured or lost jobs or, whatever else happened.
Yeah.
Got into car crashes. We'll start with Andy Dalton getting into a freaking car crash and dislocating his thumb. So he is now out, and Bryce Young is starting officially this week, says Dave Canales. So... Yes, hooray! We're so happy.
We're back. We're back to where we were 5 weeks ago.
Deontay Johnson, sad. Everyone else, sad.
Every Panther, sad. Yeah.
Yeah. At least Andy Dalton was a professional football player, not like Bryce Young, who freaking sucks ass. Hopefully, he'll do good. If he comes out there, I just hope Bryce Young just comes out swinging. Just don't give a shit and just try to push the ball downfield.
Just pull a Jameis Winston. Throw 35 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Todd Bowles said that Chris Godwin dislocated his ankle, and he is going to be out for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
Stupid. And you know what's weird? They said that before the game. Before that, at the end of it, I heard the announcer say, at this point, I don't know why you're still playing. There's less than a minute left. I would sit your starters. Then, of course, Chris Godwin freaking catches the ball, gets his ankle rolled on, and it's out for the rest of the season. So sad considering what happened to him a couple years ago with his knee. And he was killing it, dude. He was coming out there swinging.
Number 2 in the league.
He was wide receiver 1.
Number 2 in receiving yards, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but 1 in fantasy.
Yeah.
1 in fantasy points.
And then he's also a free agent, so...
Yeah.
This was the
That'll hurt his value quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was the year, so what are you going to do? With that, Mike Evans pulled his hamstring. He was running up for a touchdown. Got into that third gear that you don't really see Mike Evans ever get into. And once he pulled up, he extended out. Did not catch the touchdown, which sucks for Mike Evans owners if they needed that touchdown to win. But he pulled his hamstring. He's going to be out till at least week 11. So we have at least 3 weeks that he's supposedly going to be out, they said. But they did not put him on IR, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a big for the Bucks.
Yep. With that, my boy Brandon Ayuk is out the rest of the season, tearing like every ligament in his knee known to man. Um, got sandwiched in between two people. Looked like he was in for a decently. He wasn't gonna have a huge game, but a decent game against the Chiefs. They were targeting quite a bit. I mean, I don't know, him and Brock Purdy just didn't see eye to eye. It just figures they pay him all that money, and then he goes out for the rest of the season and had a really rough year. So right now, if I was a 49ers fan, I'd be a little bit disappointed on how my team spent their money.
Yeah, I'd be upset about it too.
Um, yeah. Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams is facing a 2-game suspension for violating NFL performance enhancing substance. I don't know what he was on or what it was, but not good.
The weeds, probably, just something stupid that probably has no effect.
This is one that doesn't matter that much, but I thought it was kind of cool because it's someone that you don't even think about anymore. But Falcons signed wide receiver Philip Dorsett to the practice squad. The fact that Philip Dorsett's still in the league is kind of crazy. Former first-round pick, hasn't done nothing.
Yep.
Puka Nakua is off the IR and has his 21-game window. He is questionable for the Vikings game tomorrow. I feel like he might play, but we'll see.
Cooper Kupp's back, so for sure. So I don't know if I'd bring Puka back yet.
Yep. Let's see.
I feel like tomorrow.
Chiefs.
Sorry. I feel like tomorrow is a tryout for Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp because like they've been like big trade talk people potentially getting traded places. I think tomorrow night's like the night for them to like be like, hey, we're still worth a little bit of something if you really do want to trade for us.
Yeah, I agree. Chiefs finalized a deal to acquire DeAndre Hopkins for a conditional 4th-round pick. So I want to say that I'm excited for this, but I don't know. DeAndre Hopkins is a shell of himself. He has been a shell of himself the last couple of years, so I'm sure it'll be better for him. I'm sure that it'll give him, a chance to win a ring. The Chiefs three-peat, which would be crazy, but I don't know. It's a good move for them. They need the help. Patty Mahomes has been. We don't talk about it. He's been historically terrible. I mean, he's thrown 6 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, which for someone that's the face of the NFL and supposed to be great, like Tom Brady didn't do that.
I was going to get into
I don't know
that
if it's
later. I was going to get into that later. Like right now on sports betting apps, he's the number 2 favorite for the MVP still, and he's putting up those numbers.
They're winning games, but his defense is winning them games.
Yeah, exactly. Daniel Jones is. You think about all the quarterbacks that have similar stats to him right now, and not a damn one of them, even if they have a close to relative, even 500 record, are not going to be put in the same conversation. It's everybody. They're dick riding Patty Mahomes for no reason at 6-9. Like, come on. Like right now, your top 3 for MVP should be Lamar, Jared Goff, and Derrick Henry. Those are the only 3 names offensively I'd even consider right now.
Yeah.
Then you have maybe even Sam Darnold at 4, and even Joe Burrow starting to turn around. It's not like Joe Burrow's played bad; he could be better. But
I'd say Joe Burrow should be up there.
But you got
Jaden Daniels.
You got
Daniels should be up there.
And then you got a guy that's 6-0, or just because they're undefeated, 7-0, 6-0.
7.
It has 6 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He's the second favorite to win MVP. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. That's unheard of. Unheard of.
Yeah, it is. It is. Name value, though. That's the same thing in like fantasy football. Once you talk about players, I mean, a lot of people. I am accustomed to it too. I know that you do it. Everyone does it, where you look at players and you don't look at their situations and how good they really are. You kind of look at the name and you're like, well, someone trades Patty Mahomes. You could trade Patty Mahomes to someone and people go, oh, that's not an unfair trade. He's got Patrick Mahomes. But really, it's like you're betting on the name, even though he's terrible. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not that. He's
But
been terrible the past 3 years.
but back to the
Really,
DeAndre Hopkins thing. He has to play
it
60%.
helps.
Yeah, it helps him. Yeah, he has to play 60% of the snaps for the rest of the year to become a fourth round pick for the Titans. But I want to know why the fuck are teams in any way, shape, or form like, hey, let's go help the Chiefs. Let's go trade and help the Chiefs. They're back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Why?
Uh-huh.
Why are teams no team is like, hey, let's go trade. Oh, the Celtics need somebody. Let's go trade with them and make them even fucking better. Or it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why? Make them either one.
Maybe the Titans thinks he's washed or something.
I don't know, but either think that you're exposing them. Let them get. Everybody's been expecting them to get exposed with not having wide receivers. It's bound to happen at some point in time, right? Because Patty Mahomes
It just took 3 years.
yeah, Patty Mahomes has not been playing well, and it's going to happen at some point where they're going to start getting exposed a little bit for not having elite wide receivers, and then you go give him a guy that, yeah, he hasn't looked his best, but DeAndre Hopkins still has very solid hands. DeAndre Hopkins can still run good routes. DeAndre Hopkins is better than a lot of the players that they currently have. I don't know why teams are doing it. Make Patty Mahomes win games with receivers like Tom Brady was winning games with. Like guys that were on the practice squad in unheard of
But
a
that's
year
the
later.
thing. Patty Mahomes is really, really good. Like he is going to go down as one of the top 10 best quarterbacks of all time. With how he's going, he might even push Brady. To be honest, they're rolling through games. He's had a very impressive career. But that's what people don't understand. He's not Brady.
Yeah.
Brady was doing it like Brady had something down. Brady was a psychopath. And Patty Mahomes is really, really good. Don't get me wrong at all. I'm not trying to undercut what he is because he's probably the best quarterback in the NFL. And it's probably not that close.
Yeah.
I still think Joe Burrow's up there, but I just think Patty Mahomes, winning all those Super Bowls in the way that he's done it and he's conducted himself, he's a real professional. Travis Kelce should retire after this year, to be honest. He just doesn't have it in him anymore.
It just doesn't make sense for teams to be like, oh, you need receivers. Here's an above. Even if you want to say D Hop's average now, I guess I just make them win games with shit at receiver. Force their hand. Don't feed into
and they're in the same conference too. It would be different if it was like the Lions trading into.
I just
like, why do they care?
Why do teams make these trades with a team that's won back-to-back Super Bowls and people are like, oh, we want to keep watching them win? You don't want them to continue to win. Force them to win games. It's just like any other team. You lose quarterbacks, right? You just don't go and trade. Teams aren't just out here, hey, have our.
Why did the Lions trade the Vikings T.J. Hawkinson?
I have no idea. I never understood.
Sometimes
that
teams
trade.
just want the value for it. Maybe that was the best offer too.
But the Vikings, but the Lions also weren't. The Vikings and Lions also weren't back-to-back Super Bowl champs, and you kind of want to see their downfall happening either. Like it just.
You're a bad person. Don't talk to me about Super Bowls. Moving on. Houston Texans sign Devin White, former Philadelphia Eagle, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Good move for them.
We'll see if he actually plays.
He wasn't great, but said he's what?
We'll see if he actually plays. He's a former Pro Bowl linebacker, and he's still young. He's like 26. So maybe he found his new home. I don't know why the Eagles didn't play him. I don't know what was that up.
It was very good for a while. Jameis Winston to start versus the Ravens. That'll be exciting. I love me some Jameis Winston.
I think everybody loves Jameis.
With that, Deshaun Watson is out for the year with a Achilles tear, which people were cheering that he got hurt. Would they cheer overrated or
no? They said you deserve it.
You deserve it.
As a person that he's a very bad person, the things that he's done with his life, and you shouldn't be cheering any injury at any level, whatever. Like it's just so classless, like whatever. You have your opinions about him. It's like, but
did he ever get in trouble for it? I thought he never really anything came of it.
I think he had to pay out settlements civilly, but nothing. Yeah, he doesn't have any criminal charges, so criminally,
then
it's like the whole in an example is like how Trump is. Trump's not criminally. The sexual allegations, none of those were criminal. They're all civil. So people say he's a bad person for that. So Watson, again, if it's classist, it's just classist. I get that he did bad things. People don't agree with what he did. If he did them, most people would say he did them.
He allegedly did bad things.
Allegedly did bad things. But it's just so classless to do that. You don't do that, especially if you're a fan of the Browns. I get they've made a bad move signing him to a fully guaranteed contract and things, but when anybody gets hurt, that's not the reaction you should be doing for anything. Sure, maybe don't give a shit about his injury, but you shouldn't be saying you deserve it and this and that. It's fucked up, just classless and fucked up.
Yeah. Keontae, or why can't I say that? Keaton Mitchell is to return from the IR, running back.
Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton. Is that really Keaton? Keaton Mitchell, dude. I know that name.
He has dyslexia, guy.
I do have dyslexia. Keaton Mitchell returning from IR. That's good, actually. He was really explosive last year. Justice Hill has kind of been, honestly, that's Lamar Jackson's number one target.
I don't even know what role Mitchell would have at this point. Derrick Henry fucking runs the shit out of the ball, and Justice Hill has been great out of the backfield. Like, how much of a role is he even going to see? 5%? Snaps in a game? Maybe? At this point, just learn from Derrick Henry. Just become 6'3" and 240 pounds, and
yes, but that is all I have for my news.
I have DeForest Buckner officially off of IR. Probably won't be playing this week, but I imagine probably here in the next couple of weeks he'll be back for the Colts, which is big because they've been kind of staying afloat a little bit. So a big piece of their defense there. DK Metcalf is dealing with an MCL sprain, so he'll be week to week. They said we'll see if he plays. It'll be a big hit to Geno Smith's passing game right there, because he has been lighting it up with DK. Braxton Berrios, ACL. He's on the IR for the Dolphins.
Too bad for Braxton.
He was wide receiver 4. Now that Odell's back and got Waddle into our Hill, so whatever, I guess there. Rashid Shaheed's on IR, impacted in there which he might be out for the season still. I don't know.
He probably will.
Alvin Kamara signs a 2-year, $24.5 million extension with the Saints after alleged.
I did not see that.
After alleged reports that he wanted traded, but he denied those two. There was something. I think his contract something wasn't guaranteed or something for the rest of it, because he still had another year or something, so he wasn't going to be owed any money. So might as well get something, because I think he gets most of it almost guaranteed. But it's quite a bit of money for him for his age.
30-year-old running back.
Yeah, but Alvin Kamara securing the bag is, he's had a pretty good season for what the team has kind of been going.
He's been one of the best values in fantasy, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Where you got him at?
Jamal Adams requests release from the Titans. They honor it, so we'll see if Jamal Adams gets signed by a team. Probably maybe later down the road if the team starts having safety issues for the playoffs or something. Not assuming he's going to get signed anytime soon. Valdez-Scantling signs with the Saints. They needed that with some wide receiver help. Jane Daniels week to week with ribs, most likely not going to play this week. allegedly, which sucks because I really wanted to see the Caleb Williams Jaden Daniels battle this week. Was really excited for that game. And then lastly, Seahawks trade Jerome Baker and a 4th round pick to the Titans for linebacker Ernest Jones.
Jerome Baker's going back to where he came from, dude.
Yeah. And Ernest Jones has been good for the Titans too, so gets value out of that. Moving on to college scores. Iowa did not do well this week, guys. They lost 32-20 against Michigan State. Watch that game. Cade McNamara, the Iowa quarterback, ain't it? He is not good, which is crazy because he was a former Michigan player and took them to a Big Ten championship and those sorts of things. Was it a playoff?
He got replaced.
And then J.J. McCarthy replaced him. But Cade McNamara has not been good. And very, very sad for Iowa there. They think they have a quarterback, finally, and it's not working out. Number 9, Iowa State defeats UCF 38-35. That game was fucking nuts. UCF ran all over Iowa State. And the two things that saved Iowa State were the smart play of a defensive back or linebacker DN staying in his gap, forcing the running back to have to run back in towards everybody because UCF's quarterback.
Isn't UCF the team that went undefeated and the NCAA actually gave them a national championship? Like, what'd they say?
They didn't get it
technically.
Yeah, they went undefeated and they were just they were just winning games like crazy, and they couldn't get into the college football playoffs because they.
But they acknowledged them for something, right? Like it was like actual like.
I think it was more. I don't think it was the NCAA. I think it was more of like the fans acknowledging them as like.
I thought the NCAA did something for them.
Let me look.
I thought they got something they had like a banner that they could actually put up. Because they beat like Alabama or something. Not Alabama.
Oh no. UCF athletic director Danny White said that the school will hang a national championship banner in. To honor their program, even though they weren't actually national champions.
Oh, really? So it was their director?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because they defeated Auburn in the Peach Bowl, but they... And they only did that because since Auburn beat Alabama and Georgia, who Alabama and Georgia were in the college football playoffs, it was if we beat the team that can beat them, then we can beat them type situation. Yeah, I remember that. No, but UCF's quarterback, good at running the ball, can't fucking throw worth a shit. That game should have been over at halftime, but he could not complete passes in crucial moments. Dude had an 80-yard touchdown run right up the fucking middle. It was insane.
Didn't they have a long-ass punt, too?
I mean, they punted.
Maybe that wasn't that game.
I don't know. There's no punt that really stood out in that game that I can think of.
Then it's not that game.
Number 11, Tennessee defeats number 7, Bama, 24-17. Jalen Milroe is ass. He has not played well the last 3 weeks. I hope he turns it around, but he has been ass, and that is a large part why Bama keeps losing. And their defense is ass. Something needs to change. Number 22, Illinois defeats number 24, Michigan, 21-7. They stormed the field after beating a lower-ranked team. Who does that?
Illinois is ranked higher than Michigan?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Illinois looks good, but they stormed the field after beating a team that was ranked lower than them. Who does that? Come on. Is this your first time? And then lastly, number 5 Georgia upsets number 1 Texas 30-15. I know Quinn Ewers left that game for a little bit because he got hurt. But the first little bit of it, it was just a battle back and forth. No points being scored. Just, very good, solid defense and offense both sides. And
My boy Carson Beck, dude.
I stopped watching after a certain point because I drove to my brother's, but I was looking at like the stats and like Carson Beck had 2 interceptions. Like he did not play well. Quinn Ewers missed part of the game, so it had to be a lot of like defense. And then ETN, Travis Etienne's brother,
yeah.
he had 3 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah,
it was
he's a beast.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good one in the league.
Better than his fucking brother.
We'll get to that later. NFL scores. I just did our 2 games. Eagles 28-3 against the Giants. It was Daniel Jones' worst game of the season, but it was also the one game that he didn't have either of his starting tackles. So the Eagles' defensive line was feasting on that. And our offense looked a little better, looked a little bit more rolled. We still have yet to score points in the first quarter, so that's worrisome, but it's bound to happen eventually. And it's the Giants. I can't really say much else.
Win games you're supposed to win.
Yeah,
that's what good teams do.
And we beat up on a injured offensive line. And then the Vikings. Just want to talk about it. Vikings lose 29-31 against the Lions to have their first loss of the season.
Once it comes to losses, losing to one of the better teams in the NFC, that's not the worst loss. I mean, they were competitive. They did have a 10-point lead, came back.
11-point lead twice, I'm pretty sure. Like they.
Well, we had a 10-point lead.
Oh, yeah.
Then they had 11-point lead.
Yeah.
And so it went back and forth. Play calling at the end too conservative. You had to go get there. I know that you don't want the game-sealing interception, but you know what I mean? We stopped them, and we went back and we got the ball back with time. Should have thrown the ball around a little bit, make some plays, but I understand what they were doing. They were scared.
Yeah.
But that's the difference. That's why Dan Campbell wins games is because he's aggressive. Sometimes you got to go for it. They went for it on a crucial down, but it was a good game. I thought everyone played pretty decent. It was a good. The Vikings defense came back and scored, which helped a lot. It helped me beat Rudy this week in fantasy, that's for sure, because they went from having in that swing. I think they went from. They were going to have 1 point, or no, they had 2 points to having 10 points after that, or something like that. It was a huge swing. I was like, oh yeah, Vikings defense, great defense. So I don't know. It was a good game. Sucked, but
we talked about it. I think probably Friday or Saturday. It could be worse. You guys could have lost to a team like the Panthers, and then this whole week would have been are the Vikings frauds? Are the Vikings frauds? Are they really even that good?
Yeah.
But losing to a team like the Lions, you don't get that. You don't have to deal with that as from the media because there was a good game. I watched some of it. David Montgomery got hurt. I thought that helped you out too because he missed some time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that helped me out. What's his face? Brandon Ayuk is like dead. Or not Brandon Ayuk. I had Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel basically died from getting pneumonia.
Yeah.
And then Jaden Daniels. Those 3 players, that could have been easily skinny on a regular week. That could have been 50-point difference.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good game. I think the Vikings still are going to be fine. We'll just bounce back. I don't know how true it is, but I saw that there's talks of them trying to trade for Matthew Stafford, which I don't understand why you would do that if Sam Darnold's been fine and all that. I don't know. I don't know how much of a truth it really is, but I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that at all. Just keep Sam Darnold.
Depends on what it is. If they
Yeah,
trade Sam Darnold for Matthew Stafford straight up because they want youth, they want a younger quarterback. Fuck yeah, give me that shit all day, every day.
yeah.
So
But yeah, the only other game that I have to point out was the Texans lost. They did cover for us, which we'll go over in bad betting, I guess. But they were on the verge. They were down. They just needed a score, right? They kick a field goal, so they're up 1 with the field goal. It's like the Packers had all 3 timeouts, and the Texans just played super conservative, and then threw the ball on 3rd down and had an incompletion or something. So then the Packers saved a timeout, which ultimately helped them go down and kick the game-winning field goal. But it's like, just score the fucking touchdown. Fuck you. Score the touchdown. Stop playing so goddamn conservative with the team that you have. The clock management by some of these teams in the NFL is so questionable sometimes. It's like, how are you a NFL coach with the clock management that you have?
it's funny because it's a two-way street, Skinny. Because if they would have completed it, made a big play, run the clock out, won the game, you know what I mean? Like, or scored a touchdown, whatever would have happened.
To me,
People would have looked at it differently.
To me, I feel like if you're going to kick because what's the point of a field goal if you're only up 1 when they still have a minute and a half and a timeout and all they have to do is kick a field goal? You know, like, score the touchdown, force them to have to score a touchdown to beat you, not kick a fucking field goal. Score the touchdown, and they just played super conservative because they were like, we're okay with the field goal, but your defense has not been great. It's been shaky. You allowed 31 fucking points, for heaven's sake. I don't know. Clock management, man. Just questionable shit.
Skinny hates it. He's not
Moving on. Bad betting. We are up. We're 16-12 on the season. We went 4-0 last week, so the last 2 weeks we're 8-0. So if you've been parlaying if you even listened to this part and have been parlaying any of our bets, I put them on X too, so I don't know how many people actually see that either. You'd be up about 135, 128, 130. You'd be up about 260-ish, 250, 260 just off of those.
off of two $10 bets. That's a 200% increase.
I mean, take out the $10 that you would have lost if you parlayed the first 5 weeks, so $50, so $200 still, up $200 in total technically. We're back. We're so back. We got this betting. Marcus even was like, man, I really should start sports betting on some of these spreads and pick'ems because I'd have a lot of money the way things have been going the last couple of weeks. And I'm like, yeah.
I've been killing it with pick'ems.
You need to. So I need to send him some referral bonuses so we have more free money and get him to
something.
But this week, the thing that saved us was the Texans minus 2.5. That was the closest one. They lost by 2. So this week we're going to have the Dolphins minus 3.5 against the Cards. Tua's back. The team will look better. Tyreek and Waddle will actually be fantasy relevant, I think, again, finally. The Cards have looked not good offensively. Just a lot of...
They've looked like this.
Yeah.
Up and down, up and down.
We're going to take the Falcons minus 2.5 against the Bucks. Bucks lose wide receiver 1 and 2. It's going to be a struggle for them to fill those vacancies. And the Falcons have looked decent. Texans minus 5.5 against the Colts. It's just the Texans against the Colts. It's a divisional game. It'll be hard fought and close, but I still don't have a whole lot of faith in AR-15 like I do Joe Flacco throwing the ball. And then lastly, we're going to take the Steelers minus 6.5 versus the Giants. They just put the fucking beat down on the Jets. You know what the Giants don't have? An offensive line. And the Steelers are going to that defense is going to eat and do exactly what they just did to the Jets. And Russ is going to continue to ball out because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to sit on the bench again. So, if you wanted to parlay all those 4 picks together, it'd be for $10 bet would pay about 125 right now. So let's keep that rolling. Let's get up another 125 and be up on the season.
Yeah. Pick or betting country. Let's ride.
Well, because last season I think we finished positive in terms of picks, and then if you did parlays, I think we were up like $100. So right now we're on a better pace because last year I think we only hit 1, maybe 2 in total, and we've already hit 2 back to back. So here we go. Before we get into the one, it's our random topics, of course. I know you never have any random topics because you hate this. I don't know why. You just.
I don't hate it.
Just
I like
random shit,
out.
man. But I have one for you. If you knew that tonight was like your last night on Earth, like you were gonna die tonight at like midnight. I don't know what it was. You made some deal with the devil or some shit. I don't know. But you knew you were gonna die at 12 o'clock tonight. What would be the last 3 things that you made sure that you would do between now and 12 o'clock?
Spend time with my family. I'd call all my friends.
Such a family man.
And then my last one. I think I'd go drive to the woods, grab some beer, and just spend my last moments in peace in the woods.
Living a simple man life. Come on.
I'm a simple man with a simple plan.
Come on. Nothing like...
What else would I do? What do you want to say? I'd rob a bank. And
go do something that you've never done before.
Go do cocaine with Michelle Obama. I don't know.
Exactly. There you go. Spice it up a little.
No. I'd want to make sure. I mean, obviously death is a topic that has been well thought about this year. And I'd want to make everyone that I care about know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I made a deal with the devil. I sold my soul until 12 o'clock, August 24th, because I guess technically that comes out on the this episode comes out on the 24th. Sold my soul to the devil that on 12 o'clock.
October 24th?
October 24th. Just so that I could... I don't even know. So the Vikings could go to the Super Bowl at least. Like, I don't know, just something.
Yeah, Vikings to the Super Bowl. All right, I got a question for you. So say that your friend really wanted you to come play flag football because the team needed you, and they had the hardest game of the year that they had to play against the best team in the league that we've beat a little bit but didn't beat. Had some struggles with. There's a lot on the line, a lot of pride on the line. Would you go to that game?
I hate you. I didn't play in the Tuesday leagues, so I didn't need to be there.
He did, folks. We lost because he wasn't there.
I didn't play in the Tuesday leagues before, so I didn't need to be there. I said from the very beginning of the seasons, I will be there Sundays, but Tuesdays I'm probably not going to come.
That's terrible.
So, as you know the answer already, no, I wouldn't show up because I haven't played in the league, and you guys have been fine without me.
And that's why I only had till 12 o'clock tonight to live, and I died because you weren't there because you don't care about me.
That's what.
So goodbye, friends. Goodbye, family.
Oh, that's what it is.
Terrible.
No, God, no. Don't put that on me. And I'm not I wouldn't have changed anything. I don't understand why you guys think I would have changed a single thing.
For the people at home, they don't know. Skinny is a freak athlete. I call him Fat Gronk. because he's just over there snagging everything. He's over there diving and putting his body at risk. And he doesn't know it, but he's a killer with yards after the catch. He just stops running sometimes because he doesn't think he's going. But he's quick as a whistle, dude.
Dude, I am so slow. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's crazy athlete.
It's all these beers making me slow.
It is. They give him energy to run faster.
Wouldn't have changed anything. We still would have lost, and everybody still would have been in the same situation.
It's a terrible way to think.
It's true. It's true.
Next thing. Next segment.
Next segment we were going to go over was just the kind of random things in the league. You know, trades, firings, implications. So why don't you go ahead? Just bring up the... Let's go.
What do you think about Cooper Kupp to the Steelers?
I wouldn't say no to it, because I don't think what we saw last week is feasible for the rest of the season. Where
not with just those two players
yeah,
that he threw it to.
Where George Pickens is going to go and catch every big 50-50 ball that you basically need, and Freiermuth having, you know, his big of a game at tight end, even though we say big, but it wasn't like big, but he made crucial catches.
Yeah.
You need a true wide receiver too, and getting rid of Deontay Johnson, you don't have that anymore. But if Cooper Kupp's age, Cooper Kupp is still he's a slot merchant. Throw him in the slot, he'll still get a share. Beginning of the season, when I thought Russ was going to be the starter, I really said I wanted to bet on the Steelers to win that division, which the Ravens right now are looking good too, but they're tied for that division.
Yeah.
And if you add Cooper Kupp to that roster, you're really pushing that. Man, I really should have put some money on the plus 750 odds of the Steelers to win the division.
There's not a lot of defenses that are fun to watch. The Steelers' defense is fun to watch.
Yeah, it's true. Like it just frustrates me every week that I'm like, I have to watch them. The Eagles have a good defense, but they don't fucking play like it. While the Steelers, every goddamn week, it doesn't matter who they play. They play some of the best teams in the league, and they always show up. And I'm like, man, I really wish my defense would do that again, throwing me back to 2017 when they were like that. But it's not like that anymore, and I'm super jealous of that. Yeah, but if Cooper Kupp were to get traded to that team, I would probably go throw money on it right now. I don't know what the odds are, but I'd go put money on it for them to win the division. I don't care how good the Ravens have been. I'm throwing money on the Steelers to win that division.
Yeah. Nice. I'm trying to think of who.
Yeah, the only other option would be that I really have like wide receiver would be Mike Williams or Deontay Johnson, because I think Deontay Johnson needs to get out of the
What do you think about this? I got a good one for Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson to the Patriots.
I feel like right now, even with Drake May, if you're a wide receiver and you go to the Patriots, you're really going to fuck your career up.
Drake May?
Yeah, I still don't like it. I still am not comfortable with it. I guess, you could build chemistry and rapport and all that. I don't like anything going on in New England right now.
Well, the teams that are going to be in need for a receiver right now are the Steelers, the Patriots. I feel like the Bills are off the market now. Maybe the Bills.
I wouldn't say the Bills.
But then you get kind of nitty gritty. Like, okay, maybe you could throw in the Packers, but they won't make a move because they're the
Titans
Packers.
Just traded away D-Hop, so the Titans could, per se. But, again, Westbrook, Akine, and has been playing. He's had a touchdown the last like
They
2 weeks.
they got freaking Tyler Boyd in
Yeah, but
and Calvin Ridley, who they put a lot of money into.
yeah. But what has Tyler Boyd really done this year? Nothing, because their
What has
quarterback.
Calvin
Yeah,
Ridley done?
that's true too. Exactly. So I
The
don't know.
the Raiders.
Yeah, I guess the Raiders are in need. I kind of feel like Deontay Johnson would be more of a Raider than like that just seems fitting. I don't know, like just seeing
It
Deontay
just seems
Johnson
so
on
ugly.
seeing Deontay Johnson on the Raiders, you're just going from shit to more shit.
I want Deontay Johnson to go to the Chiefs so bad.
Or like throw a Mike Williams on the Raiders. Like it just seems like that like kind of makes sense. Like if you saw them on that team, you'd be like, all right, I get
Yeah.
it. I understand. Yeah, I just want Deontay Johnson off of the Panthers, especially.
I'm okay with him being on the Panthers as long as Andy Dalton is the starter the rest of the year.
Yeah, with
You can promise me that. Keep him on that.
with Bryce Young at quarterback, I don't like any of that.
No.
You don't have Adam Thielen, and you still can't like with Andy Dalton. You were the clear.
He could throw
guy.
it to Adam Thielen. He could throw it to Adam Thielen for some reason. I mean, Adam Thielen's a good target though. Adam Thielen's a smart player, but I don't understand what's wrong with Bryce Young. What about Doug Peterson? Does he get fired before week 10?
Let me go look at Let me pull up their schedule real quick before I. See, the thing that bugs me is we fired him so early.
Well, he's been terrible.
Okay, so week 8, they play the Packers. So it's the Packers, Eagles, then Vikings. So they have 3 very tough games.
That's a very easy road to go 0-3.
Yeah, they're currently 2-5. If they don't win at least one of these games, he's for sure fired. He's for sure fired.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them would be blowouts, but like the Eagles have been bad, so like that's where I'm like they could probably beat them. This week they play in Jacksonville, and the Packers haven't looked all great either. So like I kind of want to be like the Jags turn it around finally, but I know it's not going to happen.
No.
I thought Doug Peterson should have been fired after like the Colts loss, the Bears loss, especially like
Yeah, it's a bad loss.
you're keeping him around. Your team's just not vibing out, anything like that. But the other one too is the other one too that I've always said is what's out there that's better as a head coach. If you fire this head coach, first off, you need a backup. You need an interim for the rest of the year. Who are you going to make that be? And then second, end of season, off season, what is currently out there at head coach that you could get that's better?
Yeah. Where's Jeff Saturday at when you need him?
Yeah. Because that's how I feel about Nick Sirianni too. Like we fired Doug Peterson for less than what Nick Sirianni has done with the team.
Yeah.
We also fired
Sirianni's
Doug
been
Peterson, who also won a Super Bowl with the team.
Yeah. Unlike Nick Sirianni.
But yeah, took him to a Super Bowl, but did not win, and that was not on Nick Sirianni. I can tell you that. I think when it comes to that, as a fan, I'm like, get the fuck. I don't give a shit. Anything's better than Nick Sirianni at this point, just because of that's how I feel about the head coach currently. But realistically, again, what is out there that would be potential for a head coach? Like Bill Belichick is the biggest name out there if anybody could get him. But there's so many teams that are Mike McCarthy could lose his job. Doug Peterson, like there's so many teams that if Mike McCarthy or if Bill Belichick became a head coach for, or has an opportunity to become a head coach for, and you don't want, you can't bank on if there's 5 teams competing all for one guy that you're
Yeah.
going to be the team to get him.
Well, and Brian Flores will probably be a head coach candidate next year, I'd
Yeah,
imagine, with how well he's.
after this season, I can definitely see that. I just wish I would be more fine with Nick Sirianni. I'd be like, whatever, I don't give a shit about Nick Sirianni if he would just not get involved in the offensive play calls at all. Because every week it comes out in crucial moments or big plays that shouldn't have been, or that have affected our games. It's come out that he's had some type of impact on those decisions when Kellen Moore is probably a top 5 offensive coordinator in the league, I'd say. And when you're letting a brain like Nick Sirianni get involved with your shit, I would be pissed off. But can't really say anything when you're the offensive coordinator.
He's not so good.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston.
Oh, we all love Jameis Winston. I'm happy.
Jameis Winston. Is he going to turn the Browns? Will Jameis Winston, here's what I'm going to ask you. Will Jameis Winston save Kevin Stefanski's job?
I don't think the Browns fire Stefanski, even if they go 6-12.
Really?
6-11.
Interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Why? Why would they not fire him after all the shit that he's...
Because after last year, I think is the biggest thing. You had 5 different quarterbacks last year, and you made the playoffs. You lost, but you made the playoffs. I don't think that, like...
I think Stefanski is a good coach.
He's put in a bad place.
No.
Yeah, he's put in a bad place because of the
But he was part of the
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson.
I don't think they fire him this year. I think no matter what the record goes this year, I'm not saying Winston's going to save his job, but I don't think he has to worry about losing his job.
Interesting.
I think last year played a heavy part in that. Last year is going to hold a lot of value for him to keep his job this year.
Yeah.
And then next year is kind of more of a... Because next year it's... If Watson's healthy, you got to fucking play him, which fucking sucks.
You, at one point, you just got to say, screw it. You have the money. Keep him on the roster if you want to. Do what you want to do. Try to trade him. You can't trade him now because he's
can't trade him
bad.
You can't trade him with that nobody wants to pay him that money. Can't trade him.
No. Well, it's getting less and less each year. You know what I mean?
You'd almost have to.
Is next year the last part of his contract? It's like a 4-year contract, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it'd be
next year. Might be the last year. He was hurt.
You'd almost
suspended, hurt this year. Yeah, it's gonna be getting close.
You'd almost have to do a like Broncos with Russell Wilson situation where
you just take the dead cap.
You take the dead cap, get rid of him, and then any team can go and get him and pay him $1 million type situation, which I don't know if any team will with how Watson has played. Like at least Russ last year with the Broncos
played well.
You know, it's not like
he was cooking last year a little bit.
Deshaun Watson as a backup quarterback, maybe. I don't know if teams would still want to sign him for all the shit that he's dealt with. And what was it? A couple weeks ago, he showed hints of old Deshaun Watson, but it's not consistent enough. And when you're injured and you're not getting any younger, it's just hard to justify. But if guys like Skylar Thompson have a fucking job in this league, Deshaun Watson, I think, is better. Like, at least somewhat, I guess. But
are we sure?
It's very close, probably.
Most definitely. I would take Tyler Huntley over Deshaun Watson this year. Not even close.
Let me go look here. So he was averaging 1, 2, 3.
Look at the games that. Can you break down the games that he was playing? Tyler Huntley played the last couple games and the last couple games of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, let me. I'm getting it here. Just hold on. All right, so this season, uh, Watson played 7 games. Huntley played 3. Um, Watson was 1-6. Huntley was 1-2. Completion percentage: Watson was 63.4. Huntley was 59.1. Passing yards per game: Watson was at 164. Tyler Huntley was at 125. And then passing touchdowns: Watson had 5. Huntley had 1. Higher passer rater of 79-73. And he averaged he had 31 more rushing attempts with about 80 more rushing yards. So he averaged a little bit more yards per carry. Yeah.
Huntley did.
No, Watson did.
Oh, really?
So it'd be Huntley only had 1 passing touchdown and 1 interception. Watson was 5-3, but it's just that offense wasn't grooving. Like
no, he was not doing.
Deshaun Watson was
at all.
slightly better than Tyler Huntley, and I say Tyler Huntley's ass. So Deshaun Watson was like booty cheeks, like at least it's not as bad as ass.
We just needed Jameis Winston. They just would not give us Jameis Winston, dude.
Yeah, and now
we literally had to force an Achilles tear and freaking DTR hurting his freaking
index
arm
finger or something like that. I don't even know. Yeah.
In order for
my 2 would be: how would you feel if Hassan Reddick got traded to the Lions?
I mean, he's no Aiden Hutchinson. That's what he'd be doing is doing that. So I don't know. I wouldn't care really. I didn't think that they were really killing us with pass rush. So
yeah,
I think they just played good coverage.
I just feel like with how things went in the short-term contract issue that they got with the Jets, if you can get Hassan Reddick for cheap, I would do it, at least for a team.
Yeah, that's the one that made sense probably the most, is to get him to the Lions. But
yeah, other people are like throwing out Myles Garrett and Max Crosby's, and I'm like, why would either of these...
Myles Garrett's not going to the Lions.
I was like, why would either of these two teams, the Raiders or Browns, trade their best player on their team for one, and 2, the Lions don't have the cap space to just go and blow on either of those 2 guys. Especially when you have Max Crosby and Myles Garrett opposite of Aiden Hutchinson next year would be fucking insane, and I would hate to be any team that had to play them, but it's not going to fucking happen. Hassan Reddick's more realistic.
And sometimes, with those big star players, Khalil Mack, once he got traded to the Bears, lock it in. Going to be the best player ever. Great deal. 2 first-round picks. Is that enough for Miles, or not Miles Garrett, Khalil Mack? And then he sucks. Sometimes it's situational.
Yeah. And then
right place, right division,
Khalil
maybe
Mack
weak lines.
Comes to the Chargers in the last 2 years. He's been pretty decent again.
Yeah.
He's older, so he's not going to be his old self, but he's been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And then my last one was Travis Etienne. Do the Jaguars trade Travis Etienne, knowing Tanks Bigsby can take on that starting role, and then they have guys like D'Ernest Johnson in the background being able to fill in that spot?
Mm, no, I don't think they do. I think I think you can use both of them. Travis Etienne's probably a top five best receiving running back in the NFL. That's what he did in college at Clemson. He's a talented player. Tank Bigsby, they have something in him. He had a disappointing rookie year, but I mean, dude's legit.
Yeah.
He's good. I think that they could run. I think they could be a Thunder and Lightning combo, kind of like how they have in Detroit. I
Just
just think Travis Etienne. We looked at him as a workhorse back. I just don't think this year he's going to be. I don't think he's going to have that. I think he's going to be split, which sucked because that was kind of the beauty of a Travis Etienne, because you're like, well, the offenses should be decent, but
mhm.
he's going to take all the touches in the backfield, and he's an explosive runner who, can catch the ball. Like, that's a no-brainer, but I just don't think we're going to get that out of Travis Etienne. Still going to get some touches, but I think it's going to be a lot in the passing game now. I think Tank Bigsby is basically the runner of that backfield.
Yeah, I would agree. I always joked just watching those games, those Jags games. It's like every time ETN tried to run the ball, the line couldn't block. But then as soon as Tank Bigsby came in, he'd get like 5 yards before it'd even get touched.
Yeah,
I always joke about that with off like when you watch games. It's like why are these linemen not blocking for this guy, but can only all of a sudden block for this guy? It's like they hate him. They hate him secretly.
they do hate him.
But moving on, we're going to do our college pick'ems and NFL weekly pick'ems for the week. For college, we have 6 games, it looks like. Iowa State's on a bye, so don't even have to discuss them. But we're just going to get the first one out. Iowa versus Northwestern. Iowa is favored by 14 against Northwestern.
Give me Iowa.
All right. Then we have 5 top 25 matchups against each other. We have number 20 Illinois is playing number 1 Oregon. Oregon is favored by 21.5.
Give me the big O.
And then number 24 Navy plays number 12 Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by 13.
Give me Notre Dame.
This is going to be the game that like Navy comes in and passes the ball once and just runs for like 400 yards and beats Notre Dame somehow. But we'll take Notre Dame because that's just like how Notre Dame would go.
Yeah.
Number 21 Mizzou is playing number 15 Bama. Bama is favored by 13.5.
Give me Mizzou.
I wrote you down for Mizzou. I felt like you were going to do that. I'm taking Bama. I just feel like they got to turn it around. Milroe has looked like ass. I don't know how much worse he can get. So turn it around, get better. Number 25 Vanderbilt versus number 5 Texas. Texas is favored by 18.5 points.
I'm going to take Texas, but I want to take Vanderbilt.
Horns down, baby. Give me Texas. Horns down. 'Cause fuck those guys. And then the last matchup here is number 8 LSU versus number 14 Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored by 2.5 at home.
Give me the A&M.
I'm taking LSU because every time I've bet against I've gone against LSU, they've won. So I'm just going to take LSU. And
Do you have our overall records for?
yeah, I was about to
College
say
or-
that. I completely forgot. Last week I went 1-4 because every top 25 matchup in Iowa lost, and every top 25 matchup was an upset. Marcus went 2-3 because he took Georgia over Texas, which I probably should have done, but fuck it, Texas. I'm currently 15-12. You're 16-11, so we're both positive there. And then NFL, Marcus has been killing it. Went 12-3 this last week. I went 9-6. He's currently 76-31 overall. I'm 64-43, so we're both well over 500. I think.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I probably have to find the episode where we would have been about the same.
You said I'm 76 and what?
31.
I want to be a 3-1. It's my goal this year's to get three-quarters of the picks.
I think you and I last year we were like a 2-1.
You beat me.
But I'm saying is like we were like a 2-1 ratio. Yeah. Our ratio was pretty close to that of some sort.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get into this, Marcus. Let's go.
Thursday night football: the Minnesota Vikings versus the LA Rams. Give me Minnesota. Comeback time. He's going to take the Rams.
No, I took Minnesota. Minnesota's going to bounce back.
Sunday, October 27th. State flag football for us. Friday is our Halloween party. Be pretty cool. Be pretty crazy. But we don't have games on Saturday morning. Thank you, God.
Great.
That's terrible.
I'm glad only 3 teams joined the state tournament this year.
I kind of am too,
because any more we would have had to play. Teams. Yeah, any more teams we would have had to play on Saturday.
We only have to play a minimum of like 3 games instead of like 12, which sucks so bad. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Cleveland Browns. Give me the Ravens.
Oh yeah, I took the Ravens. Sorry, dog was barking.
It could be
distracted me.
No, you're fine. The Tennessee Titans versus the Detroit Lions.
Give me the Lions. They're hot.
I'm taking the Lions as well.
Tennessee's meh.
Arizona Cardinals versus the Miami Dolphins at Miami. Give me Tua's coming back. I've talked too much shit about Tyreek Hill for him not to go off. So, thank you to you're welcome to all you Tyreek Hill managers if he does go off. If he doesn't, prove my point. There you go.
I took Miami also. Tyreek Hill is going to have like 4 touchdown passes to 4 touchdowns just to make up for the last couple of weeks for y'all. So,
the New York Jets versus New England Patriots. Give me the Jets.
Yeah, give me the Jets. I think that offense has got to get clicking here pretty soon.
Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Falcons. Tampa without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin is going to not be very pleasant on the offensive end.
No, it's going to be weird to see what it's like. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Give me the Bengals. I really think the Bengals are going to punch the Steelers in the face. Or not the Steelers.
Mine's lowered. I don't know why yours is so high up. I don't know. It's weird. Give me the Eagles. I'm not going to not take the Eagles. Fuck them.
Fuck them. The Green Bay Packers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me the Packers.
I really want to take the Jags. Because there's that small hope that the Jags finally fucking turn it around. But give me the Packers.
The Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans.
Give me the Texans. AR-15
taking the Texans as well.
AR-15 in it.
New Orleans Saints versus the LA Chargers.
Spencer Rattler starting again. You still are out some receivers. Give me the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers as well. Buffalo Bills versus the Seattle Seahawks.
No one else but Buffalo.
Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo as well. The Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders.
Jane Daniels isn't playing. Give me Chicago.
He's for sure not playing?
I'm pretty sure he's not going to play.
Then I'll take Chicago as well. I took Washington if he was going to play, but since he isn't going to play,
I just don't think he's going to play. There's no point to risk it when you're...
It's true. I need to fix the pen real quick. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Ruining the podcast right here.
See, that's the problem with these pick'ems on Wednesdays because we
I know.
don't know. But I just don't think he plays.
The Carolina Panthers versus the Denver Broncos. Give me the Broncos, but watch what's his face come out and throw for like 5 touchdowns. Deontay Johnson goes off. Bryce Young. Give me the Broncos for sure.
Yeah, give me the Broncos. They're favored by like 7.5 points this game, or 9.5. Like they're favored by a lot. So they're
It's
really
a lot for the
shitting
NFL.
Bryce Young. Yeah,
The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
give me the Chiefs. They're also
Give me the
favored
Chiefs
by
as well.
9.5.
The Dallas Cowboys versus the San Francisco 49ers.
This is the fall of Dallas. Give me the 49ers.
Give me the 49ers as well. There's no way Dallas never beats the Niners.
That too.
And then give me the New York on Monday Night Football, the New York Giants versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Give me Pittsburgh at home.
Give me Pitt. Give me Pitt.
Yeah. Good set of games. Good set of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
this
one
week
of
is
them
the
great.
most I've ever seen of like 7+ point spreads. There's 1-7, there's like 3 9.5s, and there's 1 10.5. There's 5 games that are projected to be won by more than a touchdown or more. Like that's
Yeah.
really weird to see. I get there's blowouts, it happens, but like to come into a game and have that favored like that is crazy to me.
Kind of wild. Yeah.
But yeah,
It's like college football numbers.
I'm really banking on Jaden Daniels. I have him in fantasy. I'd like him to play, but I just don't think he's going to play in that Chicago game. So, with that, next week is Halloween, so we'll have a Halloween episode. It'll also be going into week 9, the halfway point of the year. So, man, it's flying.
Should have a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, especially with trades and everything, coming up over the next couple days, the trade deadline and everything. With that, make sure to go follow us on the X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Anywhere
Spotify,
you get a podcast.
not anywhere. But cheers. Peace out.
Shalom.